Is that? Hello. Am I on? Is that it? We good? Good afternoon, everyone. We're waiting on a few people to join us, but we'll just get started. So, welcome to the second instalment of M+Co's Lunch and Learn series with Melissa. Is it
Lunardon.
There we go. So it's great to have you guys physically in our showroom. We do want to welcome those who are joining us virtually. There we go. So today we're joined by the incredibly talented Melissa Lunardon. There we go. An expert in interior design. So she'll be sharing some valuable insights on breaking into the commercial interior design space and how to navigate the industry. So we'll start with Melissa's presentation, followed by drinks and grazing, and just a chance to network and connect amongst yourselves and, of course, with Melissa. Then we'll kind of go through a short look inside of M+Co's 2025 and beyond, and we'll finish up with a showroom tour. For those who don't know, I'm Michaela. I'm head of marketing here at M+Co. We've got Dean Davis in the back, who is our director. We've got Sue, who's a part of our sales team, as well as Charlie. We've got Matt, an account manager, and we have the tech boys at the back, photographer Dylan and web developer Connor. So, yeah, we'll take it away. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you. All right. This is all on. You can hear me? No? It's not on. Connor? Hello? Hello? Testing. Hello? Yeah? Okay. I might just have to talk loud. Well, thank you. Hello. For those of you, who don't know me, I am Melissa Lunardon. I've got a little blurb. Are we on? All right, there we go. Yes, so I have been in the industry for 15 years. I have been running my own business for about 8, predominantly working on residential and commercial interiors around hospitality and healthcare. The past 3 years, I really saw a great growth in the business, and that's when I started to step into the role as CEO. I find lots of us, when we are running our own business as solo entrepreneurs, we just get stuck into that day-to-day, very reactive mode. And once I realized that I wanted to create some serious growth, I needed to, just change my mindset around being a business owner. And that has really helped along the way. And over the years, that's when I have started to enjoy the back end of the business, finance, growth, marketing, sales, and created a mentoring business out from that called the Design Club, where there's a couple of past and current mentees here that I work with to help them set up their businesses, but then also help them scale. Like most of you, we've been in the business in the industry for a while, and it can be quite isolating. So, having a really great support group and having events like this can bring us together. We can really learn from each other as well. What I do is not the only way. There is no rule book, and that's why there are so many great coaches and mentors out there that we can learn from and really share our experiences and grow as an industry, because there is so much work out there for all of us. I don't think we need to be worried about competition and those sorts of things. But a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today was understanding commercial interiors and how to break into that. Some designers, and myself included, quite a few years ago, commercial interiors was enticing, but also intimidating. There were so many different factors that were different to commercial interiors, but some topics that I'm going to be talking about today are very transferable to residential interiors and the way that you are running your own business today. So, of course, with commercial interiors, there is a main focus on functionality, durability, and compliance. Yes, I do know that this also means residential as well. But a really big, strong focus on that, because it's not just family members. Of course, there's civil, there's public spaces as well. When looking into hospitality, there are different sectors, being hospitality, retail, office spaces, healthcare, and of course, aged care being huge at the moment. especially with interior decorators, there is a massive growth in, tapping into that market, which is, very hot right now. And projects in the commercial interior space involve quite a few professionals, being architects, builders, and consultants. And I've added in the client as well, which is a given, but I find with commercial clients, they form having a really great, they form a really bigger picture in working with clients. They have a lot more of a say. And I feel when working with commercial clients, it brings me back to those corporate days where there is a lot more politics involved. There is a lot more changing the goalposts instantly that you need to work towards. So I wanted to tap in a little bit more about that later on. Can we? No? Okay. All right. So some key points to consider when approaching commercial interiors is, how do you want to be involved? If you're just purely a stylist or a decorator, you can actually break into commercial interiors with those skill sets as well. But if you do specialize in mostly design work, then do you want to be more space planning, joinery, or both, which is what we do as well. Of course, currently reach out to your current network as well. Reach out to make new connections to architects, building designers and developers that specialize in commercial interiors. Introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself and say, hey, I'm actually going to be working in some more commercial spaces at the moment. Is there anything that you've got on the drawing board at the moment that you want to work on together? Because you don't have to start from scratch and, cold calling straight away. And of course, a massive thing to consider is understanding the BCA, understanding the different regulations. Accessibility is huge right now, and it's becoming bigger even in residential interiors. So make yourself familiar with those rules and regulations. But once again, don't be intimidated by them. Reach out to consultants, to other architects, other developers, or even other designers who have more experience in these spaces, and make yourself aware of what to look out for. And of course, being at M+Co Living right now, some of their range has commercial grade furniture pieces. So rely on your suppliers as well when you're sourcing. Look out to these suppliers and lean on them. Let them help you with those types of areas that you're unsure of. When it's coming to marketing yourself as a commercial interior designer, there's a few things to consider. And one of the easiest things that lots of people tend to be drawn to is leveraging through social media. But if you're not strong in social media, don't worry. It's not the only way to market. SEO being, the back end of your website, using lots of keywords that are friendly to commercial interiors can help make your website become more visible into Google. Partner up with suppliers. So like I said, build relationships with your current furniture suppliers, hard finisher suppliers, and let them know, I am breaking out into commercial interiors. I want to expand my knowledge on the different products that you've got available, and, really rely on them. As designers, you're well aware right now that we can't know everything about every product, about every finish, in every environment. So really rely on those suppliers to give you that knowledge that you can then support yourself when you're working with those clients. Some common challenges to overcome when you're breaking out into commercial interiors is to really understand the client's budget and margins as well. And of course, how to profitably price your design fees, which I will go over shortly, because you will understand right from the start when you have undervalued yourself. And sometimes that can be a sore point, but we always learn from these experiences and bring that into the next project. The biggest thing I was chatting about earlier is your boundaries will be tested with commercial interiors. So set these from the start. Really let these commercial clients know the timeline of your project and how you can actually give them the deliverables, being, concept stage, documentation, furniture selections. Make them well aware of these timelines because, you want to make sure everyone is on the same page right from the start. Let them know as well, there's always going to be changes, and being, in corporate, there's always changes really quickly and the goalposts move constantly. So really let them know how many variations are involved. You may like to include a few more revisions than you would usually in your residential quotes, but be very mindful of this too, and let them know how you like to be communicated as well. If it's just on email, if it's phone, and also let them know as well if you are going to be their on-site contact too, or if you prefer to deal with them before they start site and then hand everything over to the builder, and then you and the builder actually communicate. So then once again, you're keeping those boundaries nice and safe for yourself. And finding commercial projects is networking events are fantastic because there are a different range of businesses in these events, and lots of them do have office spaces, restaurants, commercial spaces. So really introducing yourself and say, hey, I specialize in commercial interiors, even if you don't have a project under your belt yet. Really making them aware of that and keep that connection going, because you just never know where these conversations can really lead. So a little bit more on design fees. And once again, I really think this is transferable to residential interiors. The first thing is to really understand the scope of works. Sit down with this potential client like you would for an initial design consult and understand, how do you want me involved? Who do you want me to be liaising with? Is it the builder? Is it you as the business owner? Or is there a board of directors? Is there, an executive team you need to be working with? Really find out from the start, because it's going to make the project run a lot smoother. Also find out as well the project size as well, if you've got floor plans, those sorts of things, because that will help you in a minute really price it up. And understand the complexity of it. Are we actually doing structural changes too? Because that will bring you aware into, do you need to bring in external consultants as well? Do you need to bring in an engineer? Do you need to bring in your own building designer or your own builder as well? Understand the services they want you to provide. So is it concept stage? Is it documentation? Or is it purely just FF&E and furniture sourcing? Are you going to be doing the procurement stage as well, and project management? And of course, understanding the timelines. Tight deadlines, yes, it does equal more money. If they want something quick, that means that you can charge more for that. Don't feel bad, guilty. There are so many businesses out there that do that. And if there is a project that is currently on site that they need your help, you know that they're going to be needing things a lot quicker than they would if they were pre-site. So that extra money allows you to outsource. If you're currently juggling with a few projects at the one time and you've brought in this commercial project where the timelines are going to push all your other projects out, it's a really great time to look at scaling. Maybe you need to bring in an external designer, an external documenter to help with the FF&E schedule, the drawings and floor plans, 3D renders. There could be someone that can help you out with sourcing. And I'm saying this because this is what I do in my business currently. And it's allowed me to bring on more projects because there's only so much I can do in one day. And it means you can bring in more projects, but ensure that you have a team that actually supports you. So in terms of pricing the project, there are a number of ways. And once again, you can do this with your resi clients as well. You can do a fixed fee. And, for example, if the office fit out is 50K, the design fee could be 10 to 20% of that. You could do a percentage of construction costs. This is if you actually know this information. This is why it's really important to understand the square meterage of the space as well, because you could also cost per square meter. And something that I strongly work on is value-based rather than hourly. Yes, it's important to understand how many hours it's actually going to take you to bring the client from concept stage all the way through to install. But there are so many other things to consider, like overheads and, bringing in extra team members to help with these tight deadlines. Additional fees as well, especially when you're working on value-based pricing, is factoring procurement margins. Commercial interiors, always need light fixtures, furniture, styling, all those sorts of things. And that is a great way to tap into extra revenue. I don't necessarily bank on this sort of money. This is cherry on the top money when I'm looking at forecasting for financials. It's always great to have. And procurement, even in resi projects, it's a great way to help with cash flow throughout the year when you are waiting on design fees that probably aren't due yet. It's a great way to keep cash flow through those weeks and months when, leads are a little bit quiet. Apply a markup on trade pricing, of course, to help with additional profit, and add a contingency to overheads. So just like how I spoke about in a few slides earlier, when goalposts can be changed, the amount of revisions is really adding up, add in that extra overhead of 10 to 20%, because I'm guaranteed you that you will actually need that for those extra changes. And yeah, account for your overheads. Just because right now it could be you, they don't know that. They probably see that you have a whole team, and when you are taking on larger projects that require extra help for you to outsource, that means extra money, right? There's a reason why a hairdresser in a salon is going to charge you a lot more than someone that you go to at home, right? Because they have less overheads to work with. So I would really look at having that same sort of mindset for yourself and your own business too. Now that I have a team, I have to come up with that money, right? And it's not coming out of my own business expenses. It's actually coming from my clients' design fees, because my team is going to help me provide a fantastic service for my clients. So not only is it going to help me, but it's going to help my clients in the long run. So just some final thoughts. Sorry for those who have just arrived, but I'm sure all good. I'm sure there's going to be a recording of this, but just some final thoughts, and we'll have a little bit of a Q&A. Is that every designer's journey into commercial interiors, it's very unique, right? So whether you are just starting out, is to just be persistent and patient as well. Keep the conversations going. Constantly talk about yourself, because you are your best salesperson, right? And be in the room where your ideal clients are. I say this a lot to my current mentees who are breaking out into residential interiors, is to find out where your ideal clients are hanging out and hang out there. If they are hanging out at networking events, then go there. If they are working with developers, architects, builders, start chatting to those architects and builders and say, hey, this is what I do. I'd love to find a way to actually work together. Of course, you will need to, it's always a two-way street. So let them know. I'm always on the lookout to work with new builders to recommend. I'm always on the lookout to reach out to different architects that can help me out. So really find a way that can both benefit each other, because those are the relationships are really going to pay off in the long run, because that's where you'll start to see that constant stream of clients coming in without you having to push with the marketing. Think of networking as a marketing avenue, and it works wonders. It's a slow burn, but it will pay off, because you'll start to see those leads come in slowly, but it will come in consistently. And that's something you're not going to see with, social media or, email newsletters and those sorts of things. So yeah, that really ties into that second point, just really focusing on building the relationships continuously. And yeah, remember that success comes from being creative, being strategic as well. So really stepping into that CEO role. Work on, yes, being as a designer, but really stepping into those CEO days. I really chat to my mentees about that, is have days where you set yourself aside, maybe half a day or a full day, and work on, right, if I was a CEO of a big company, what are the things that I would be working on? It'd be income generational tasks. So, looking at ways to bring in new clients, looking at your finances. And if you're not good with numbers, I know, because I am one of those people, but learn about it, right? When we have that knowledge, that's when we can understand, are we good next month? Are we good the following month? Where do we need to bring in more clients or more money? And that can really put you in the right direction on, the type of clients, the type of projects you want to bring in too. And I'm always about taking inspired action. So I'd love for you to really think about what's just one key takeaway that you could actually apply easily into your own business today, because it's really great to actually attend these sorts of events, but if you don't actually apply it, just like reading a book, there's no point. I think it's really important to just to apply a little something from today, because that's when you start to see that change, and that's when you start to see that growth. And once again, if you wanted to learn a little bit about the Design Club, I offer private mentoring where we tackle all of the ins and outs of running a business, real troubleshooting, the day-to-day, and also really stepping into that mindset of being a CEO. I find that we work better together rather than being alone. But thank you very much. We will leave maybe a few questions right now, and then the rest we'll do a little bit later, because I know from experience it actually becomes a group convo, which is awesome, but we're really mindful of time.
Do you have any questions that you want to start with?
Thank you.
Anyone that wants to ask a question, has thoughts to Melissa? Yes.
Testing.
Hi, Melissa. How are you going?
Good, how are you?
Sorry for being late.
No,
and
thank you for coming.
If I've missed the initial part of it, but would be just curious to understand, did you always start with the commercial side of interior designing, or did you phase into it? And, those initial steps are the hardest.
Yep.
So once you have the ball rolling, it keeps on moving. So how did you make that transition, if at all? And how did you land your first commercial client?
Sure, great question. So I started off in purely residential interiors, and commercial interiors came by accident. Like how I actually started my own business, right? People actually asked. I was working in a co-working space, and a few people found out I was an interior designer and was setting up a healthcare clinic, and the builder had questions for him. What floor are we using? What are we doing with the reception desk? And they're like, I don't know, shit. And so they worked together that way. I applied the same sort of knowledge as I would residential interiors to commercial, but I reached out to some other designers and some other builders I knew that specialized in commercial interiors to really bring me up to speed into the different requirements, the different codes, those sorts of things. And in terms of the second half of your question was how to sort of transition into it, is I just kept telling people, I work in residential and commercial interiors. I've changed my website to say that, and the back end of the SEO really spells out that I help in commercial spaces. As new projects came on, of course, more photography and proof of those commercial projects came. So we do a lot more in our marketing around that. And networking more with architects and builders in the commercial sectors has really helped out as well. Yeah. Thank you. Hope that helps. Yeah. Wonderful. And do you work on commercial interiors, or is that something you're interested in doing?
Something interesting.
Yeah.
We're very much into residential at the moment, but that's what I'm so curious to understand, how do we get into it? And I think that's a very essential part of your messaging. Yeah. Because if you don't tell people, how they will know about it.
Right. Yeah. We're our biggest advocate. So definitely.
And then you did mention about the codes. Is it
when you did mention about the codes, so does it vary industry wide, or is it like?
Well, I mostly do hospitality, so cafes and restaurants. So it's very similar. And same with accessibility. So, making sure there's enough room for wheelchairs and those sorts of things. Generally, it's pretty like a blanketed rule, but I would certainly look into, if you're working in like a hairdressing salon, understanding the client as well and what their needs are, what are the problems they're currently facing with their current space, and how to address that as well. Just like you would a residential client, right? What's working in the space? What do you don't like? What do you wish to change? And then, it's our job as a designer to take all that on board and then provide them with something that does work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a central repository or somewhere we can go to get those codes and policies?
The BCA.
The
Yeah.
BCA?
Sandy, would you agree? Yeah.
All right, cool.
And definitely chat to building designers or architects who work with commercial interiors, and just say, Is there some sort of material that you can point in the right direction to? Even ask your current architects that you're working with in residential interiors. They may have a network that can help you out.
Sure.
You just never know. People are always happy to help.
Yeah.
It's just asking the question.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong that can come from asking from it. It's just within us, always being a little bit scared.
Yeah.
So just got to feel the fear, but just do it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Another question or any thoughts?
Great.
Well, we'll wrap that up. Another round of applause for Melissa.
Thank you.
We're just going to get into a networking and grazing break. Food's over there. We're going to bring out some more food as well now. If you'd like a top up on some champagne or Prosecco, just let me know. So yeah, thank you so much, Melissa. That was awesome. Thank you, guys. We'll bring out some more food as well now. Thank you.
Charlie said mute the music.
If everyone would like to come back to their seat. Thank you for all coming to M+Co and enjoying this luncheon with us. For those that have come back again as well, we must be doing something wrong. Thank you. For those that are new, you're very welcome to come to the future ones as well. So I think we got a lot out of our last talk. Appreciate you coming in. I think the last time that we shared the stage was at the home show nearly 8 years ago. I just wanted to talk about M+Co as a company. For those that haven't been here before or don't know us, we've originated from a property styling business and we're now importing furniture and distributing through retailers, interior designers and specifiers. So my talk will be pretty quick. I just want to talk about, I guess, the business. We've been 3 years now and we've grown quite quickly. We've got a great team behind us that you've probably met. Kayla and Mark and the guys, my team back there. So we've really forged a really great team to really grow up 12 months and beyond. So watch this space. One of our things that we're really highlighting is our website functionality. So those that have an account with us will be able to log into the members area and find certain things on our website that is a little bit different to perhaps other people's websites that we've been on. One in particular is we've got a little rewards little section there which has the paper copy and there's also a digital copy there, so we can do little incentives together. Another thing that we'll have shortly is live tracking of orders. So if you are specifying a product right and you're in Elwood, you can look for Uber Eats or Uber so that you can time your arrival. So that's something that's a little bit different. So because we're, I guess, the younger wholesale company coming up in the world, we're really utilising perhaps technology and trying to do things that are a little bit different, and also provide, I guess, a service to help your businesses. At the end of the day, we are trying to put forward technologies and platform to help your business. So from the website, you'll see many changes in it, just the way that you can shop through the product, and just the way that the tags go through, shopping into colours, collections, etc., which is very common for a wholesaler to have, but we want to go a bit further too. We're going to have a new section up that is shop functionality. So around furniture, for example, like the ottoman that has storage, or an armchair that has storage, etc. So we'll have that category too, which is just a little bit different. I think often we look at furniture from a design point of view, but it obviously has a function as well. So you'll see that come through. Program will go live very shortly, which is made to order. Now, made to order, a lot of purchasing will be slightly higher end, elevated products that can be customised. So if you're looking at a round marble table that's good, you need it and slide it too high or too low, talk to us, talk to Matt, talk to Sue, specify what you tailor it to you. So all of the made to order will be customisable. You could even look at it and so do talk to us about that. That will be EDM'd out to you guys and also in your login you'll see. So with the commercial products we have, given we spoke about that today, it's mainly our Gus Modern range. So all of Gus product actually comes into Australia commercially graded. So some of the M+Co product isn't, and when you're looking at other wholesalers, etc., all of their ranges are all commercial. With Gus, it is all commercial. So when you're commercial products, please think of Gus because it just fits. Other, I guess, features with Gus is they're probably the most advanced in Australia when it comes to sustainability. The reason being is they have the four main technologies that make up sustainable furniture in the one piece of furniture often. So that is FSC, which is the recycled timber, PET, which is the plastic infill, zero VOC, which is a chemical that they would spray. So the example there is when you get into a car and you go, I love that new car smell, that's actually bad. So to be water-based. And that's what looks great furniture. We also have a product with skin leather, so vegan or skin leather. So there's food technologies that sit within the guts range, make that specified, or if you're talking to your architects that want sustainable furniture. Talking about the apple skin pouch, and then going from there. A lot of that marketing material is on our website, and also Gus Modern's international website. That's sustainability. That's about it, really. So thank you for your support and coming and supporting us. We go on to the showroom. If there's any questions, please reach out to anyone here.